Hello, welcome back to Coach Plays. As you can see on the screen, we have more XCOM2 War of the Chosen, but this time we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to treat this as a bit of a combat tutorial for how to play XCOM on Legend difficulty. Particularly, the topic for today is going to be the Gatecrasher mission. So what we're going to do is we're going to start some new games, but we're probably going to do maybe 2. We might have time for 3, I don't know, depending on how well or as bad these missions go. But I know I talk through all of my moves and my thought processes in like kind of insane amounts of detail anyway, but we're really going to go in on that. We're going to go really detailed into the thought process just to help you. Like I say, if you want to start a new XCOM2 War of the Chosen run on Legend, this will really help you, but of course it'll massively help you as well if you're starting on Commander or Normal, because if you can get through it on Legend, the other difficulties are a cakewalk really. So this is the start of our kind of combat tactics series, and as we move through, I'm not going to record too many of these in advance or anything like that. I'm just recording this one today, so you hit the comments if there's anything specific you want me to look at, a particular mission type you struggle with, as a particular difficulty, particular types of enemies, how to use classes, whatever you want, we'll do. So hit the comments and let me know if there's any particular kind of combat related tactics you want me to go through. So, new game. Legend difficulty. Reduce beginner voiceover. That's fine. No need to enable Iron Man. We're good. Doesn't matter about downloadable content because we're only doing Gatecrasher. So, as I said, we're going to rerun Gatecrasher like 2 or 3 times maybe, and we'll talk through all of the kind of ins and outs. We can also skip the story because, as always, Advent bad, XCOM good is the story of XCOM. So, I tell you what, I still get the chills of who's going to be on the ship. Here we go. Okay, I think we got some newbies. Oh god, old Duria's here. Died twice last playthrough, so I don't give him much hope for Gatecrasher. Okay, so Gatecrasher Legend difficulty. If you're starting to play through yourself, it's really important that you get through this mission pretty much unscathed if you can. A death. We've got a skirmisher, Hellborn, here, which is nice. It's always good to have a skirmisher at the start. A death of a hero class on Gatecrasher, on Legend difficulty, I would describe as non-recoverable. So if that happens, just re-roll. Just start again and go. An injury to one person is fine. A death to one person is, again, I would personally re-roll. I'd restart the playthrough and just until you get a clean Gatecrasher, but it's not the end of the world. One death, any more than one death, then it's GG. Just re-roll, start again. Now, Gatecrasher. So what we've got to do, we've got to plant C4 over here, as we all know, and we do have to kill all the enemies. We can't just plant the C4 and run away. There's going to be 3 pods out here. We have concealment for Gatecrasher, so time and patience are very much on our side. Now, Gatecrasher has quite a lot of different maps you can get for this, and this is one where we're starting on a roof, so this is actually what I would describe as a pretty nice starting position. There are some where you can have maps where there's very little top cover at all, so those can be more difficult. You need to take a slightly different approach. Maybe we'll get that in our next reroll. So we have concealment and we have high ground, so these are real benefits to us here. So what we want to do with Gatecrasher, especially on Legend difficulty, we've got 4 HP, right? If we get hit, we're probably dead. If it crits, it is definitely insta-death. But a general hit at this stage of the game from Advent soldiers is going to be a kill, probably on us. The other thing we need to think about, particularly once we've broken concealment, is general rule of thumb for Legend difficulty at the start. Half cover, just think about it in your head as it's not cover. If you're in half cover, you're stood in the open. So we really want full cover. As soon as we're revealed, we're going to want to be in full cover. And looking at the map as we head down, we've got good full cover on some of these trees here. There's some pretty nice spots, but what we're going to look to do, obviously, is pick up the first kind of pod here. So let's take Olduria. We do not want to lose our high ground at all. Now, annoyingly, there is cover here. Cool. So we could obviously stay up here, but I want to just advance a bit to see if I can pick anybody up. So I would always, you have concealment here, and never double run at the start of Gatecrasher. Always move to within one kind of tile radius Okay. Now what you'll notice about the Advent here, they've got 4 HP. Grenades do 3 to 4 HP. If you're playing on lower difficulties, the Advent will have 3 HP. So grenades will guarantee one shot, potentially a whole pod. So then you only need to worry about one other or 2 others, depending on the difficulty you're playing on. So grenades are not guaranteed kills on Advent, so we need to have plan Bs to tackle them. But what we're going to do here, again, so this, although we've moved down a level, this is still, we still get an aim bonus from up here, from having elevation on our target. Also, if you didn't know, concealment also gives your team not an aim bonus, but when you overwatch, you get an aim penalty because it's classed as a reaction shot. So when you're concealed and you overwatch, that bonus is basically nullified. So you'd get the same aim as if you were taking a normal shot. So if you're going to overwatch on Gatecrasher, you do it from concealment to kind of kick it off. So what we're going to do, we might bring everybody down here, to be fair. Now, I think that's fine for Shakes. Hellborn. Now what we can do here, because we're not going to fight this turn, so you need to decide when are we going to fight. At the moment they're too far away. I don't even have vision of the whole pod. Chances are they're going to move towards us anyway, I would suggest. So they're probably going to end up about here next turn, which is going to be go time. So all I want to do really is get everybody in prime positions. So let's go. We've got Infinity here, not a kind of a Buzz Lightyear-esque, as you can see from the purple, green and yellow. It wasn't in the last playthrough, so the first for Infinity. Okay. Now, we could leave it like this. We could overwatch everybody. Nothing's going to happen. But we could also just move up a little bit, which is going to help our movement. Because we know we're not going to shoot, right? Moving up just one tile might help us get to somewhere better next time round. So I am just going to loop them round to here and here. Now, we want to stay really close and really connected for Gatecrasher. You don't want to be sending people off this way, that way. You want to be close-knit. Now, I've got a mod here installed, which just a smart overwatch. So you press it once and it will overwatch anybody who's available. It also will reload their weapons if they have a spare action. So it's a good mod. Again, I can do a mod list if that's something that you want me to do. So we're just going to watch here and we'll see where these guys go. Okay, they are coming towards us. So my prediction was correct. They're going to end up about here. Now, what we want to do, if we think about how we want to start the party here, they're all grouped together here. So a grenade is a real good option because as soon as we reveal, they scatter and they'll all spread out. And then the grenade that could hit all 3 of them can probably only hit 1 or 2 max. So what I want to do is get somebody in grenade range down here. Now, annoyingly, these civilians have taken up position right here because this would be super easy to move someone down, stick a grenade on their head, job done. So we're going to need some movement range here. Now I can get Hellborn down here. Now Hellborn skirmishers, they obviously start with grapple and they start with justice. So you've got 2 quite strong abilities here. Of course, a grenade. And again, you need to remember with their gun that they can shoot twice from a stationary position as they have Marauder. So standard shots are not turn ending, allowing them to move or to either shoot twice or shoot then move. So that's very strong. So can Infinity get down here? So Infinity can get down here, but again, you can see here we would reveal ourselves by doing that because we'd have to drop here. Now, one thing you can do is if you press Control and click, you can actually look after their movement a bit more carefully, but then you can see that I can't actually get there in a single move to throw the grenade. So it's a bit frustrating. So what we're probably going to have to do, not my choice here, because Hellborn can get here in 1 turn and do so safely. We probably bring Hellborn down. Hellborn is going to throw the grenade. That's the objective. Goes without saying, this is a general rule of thumb for XCOM2 combat. You don't want to pull more than 1 pod at a time, so you do need to be careful with your movement. With Gatecrasher, generally speaking, there'll be a pod at the back, a pod at the left, and a pod at the right. So we're pretty safe to move down here, but just obviously something to be aware of. Now, let's just check that this grenade can actually hit all 3. We can hit all 3. Now, the grenade might one-shot all 3. I have had legend runs where that's happened, and it's fantastic. It's a great scene for everyone. So what we're going to do is Infinity. Now, again, let's have a look at the shot percentages. So these shot percentages are what we're going to get for our reaction fire, basically. So high 80s. It's fantastic. Olduria. Now, Olduria can only see 1 at the moment. So there is maybe a view to move him in a space. But when the grenade hits them and they run, he'll probably get vision of them by default. I'd imagine if you look at his kind of line of sight, it's going to be this pillar that's probably actually blocking either these two, and then potentially you can see this one. No, you can see that one. Yeah, the pillars are actually blocking the two on the left. And then Shakes also only has vision of one, which is the same one. So the vision is currently blocked on these two. So there is actually a sort of view here that actually might be slightly more beneficial just to move a little bit, because we're only going to Overwatch, so it's kind of okay. And I just move them to here and here so they can see both. And this is all just in the planning, right? Now, Alduria is going to Overwatch. Hellborn is not going to Overwatch. He's going to be throwing the grenade. Infinity can see too, so that's fine. He's going to Overwatch. And Shakes is going to Overwatch. Now, we're not giving up our high cover here. I'm not moving anybody down. High ground is of this mission is king. So give me an Overwatch. Now, Hellborn, like I said, is going to start this. So this is going to reveal everybody when we start. So, but you cannot emphasize how good damaging 3 enemies with one ability is. It's insane. So you really want to start Gatecrasher off with a triple grenade like this. So cautious movement, keep your top cover, get a grenade out on the first pod, and let your Overwatch shots follow up. Now we should hopefully squad wipe this pod, but let's see if XCOM RNG is on our side. Okay, we've got 1 kill. That's good, and we blew the cover. So we should now, with 3 Overwatch shots, I'd be very upset if they aren't cleaned up, to be honest. I was almost very upset. Okay, good job. So that's a really solid start. Now what we need to remember now, so promotions have all popped here. When you get a kill in Gatecrasher, you guarantee your promotion. So it's nice to funnel a kill onto everybody if you can. So that's all good. Now, first pod down, 3 enemies killed, none currently active. But we no longer have concealment. So any move we take towards another pod now is going to trigger them, and we're going to have to then fight on that turn and have, you know, things that we're going to do. Now, with Gatecrasher, there's no rush. There's no timer. There's no clock. There's no nothing. I could, you know, the sensible thing you might be thinking in your head is, well, why don't we just move Hellborn to here? It's full cover. Do we need to? I don't think we do. So what we're going to do, we're going to grapple back up. And we're going to run over Overwatch turn, and we're just going to see if anything walks into us for a bit. Now, this is a little strategy you can play, again, to really safely get through Gatecrasher. Now, Overwatch shots are now going to have a reaction shot penalty because we don't have concealment. But if an enemy group walks in, it still means that we could hit some of them and damage them maybe. And then when we get our turn, we've got, you know, a full range of movement to do things. So we're just going to smart Overwatch everybody here. And again, the guys that haven't moved will, with this mod, will reload as well. So that's beneficial. Now, it depends on how many times you want to do this. Generally speaking, with Gatecrasher, 2 of the pods are roaming. 1 is static normally. Sometimes you'll get 2 that are static depending on the makeup of the pod. But I can guarantee you there will be 1 back here and there's going to be 1 here. So if these guys do come down here, we would get some reasonable Overwatch shots on them. So what I'm going to do, we'll run it 1 more time, and if not, then we'll get stuck in and we'll try and find them. So we're now picking up some sound cues of where they are, which we knew anyway. Okay, nothing. Now, one of the things I did think about this is we could deliberately make some bad moves to kind of illustrate my point. So I might do that. I might deliberately make a bad move. Now, the sensible thing, we know they're over here. So we've got full cover here, which is awesome. We've got full cover there, which is reachable. So moving to 2 full cover positions here and then moving these guys, keeping the top cover with 2 is probably a reasonable play. So let's get Hellborn down here. But just remember, time is on your side here. There's no rush. Get your full cover and then kind of plan accordingly. So Infinity will drop down into this full cover here. And then what we're going to do with Alduria and Shakes, we're just going to move them up a bit. So I think we'll take Alduria to here, Shakes to here. We're going to run another Overwatch. So I just want to see if anything does walk into us. And if not, then we'll kind of explore what the next options are. That'll be the pod from directly behind. Okay, once again, nothing walks into us. Again, we're relaxed. There's no need to move quickly. Now, what we can do is think about your movement kind of in a leapfroggy way. If I was to move Infinity here, Olduria can come down. I don't want to give up the high ground yet. Always move your low ground troops first. That's another reasonable tip. Because if we were to move here with Infinity and we pull a group and they run towards us, Olduria and Shakes have still potentially got a really good shot up top. So we're going to send Infinity out here to this other full cover. As I said, okay, we do pick up the pod that's there. Nice. So okay, welcome to Sectoids. Now, these things, early game, can be a pain in the arse. As you know, I am a massive fan of mind shields because I've had too many characters mind controlled in the past in this game, and I hate it. It's terrible. So, it's something that I try and avoid. Now, you can't avoid it early game, obviously. So, the priority here, because of the HP, probably is the Sectoid. But one of the things you need to think about with Advent troops is all this guy is going to do is shoot. So if anybody is in half cover or flankable, that's all this guy's going to do. Sectoids, obviously, they can try and mind control. He could res one of these corpses and try and bring them back to life as a zombie. So we just need to decide what we're going to do here. Now, Infinity does still have the frag grenade. 50% shots, because this guy's in half cover and has a degree of elevation on us, are a problem. But a grenade would remove his cover, and I could potentially then maneuver a flank shot. Now, Hellborn here could get vision of both of these guys by moving into half cover, and could ripjack and could justice one, hopefully the trooper maybe, justice him in and do the damage. Melee damage on justice does 4 damage basically. So I said about not moving into half cover, but realistically here I've got no choice. This target preview is telling me going here, I'd be able to see both. Only place I can go in a single turn to see both. So Hellborn is going to go here. Also as well, with your specialist classes, Hellborn has 5 HP. Your regular troops have 4. So if anyone is going to take a hit, it may as well be him. Now, as you can see, the shot percent chances are appalling. But Justice is a bit of a law to itself. So 53 is not amazing, but we could give it a go. Now, what we'd want to look at here is what the boys up top have got. Now, they can't actually see them, which is disappointing. But we could... I'm just thinking, can I maneuver a flank shot on this guy? I don't think I can actually get wide enough to do it. Although I can't see them up here because of just the distance is just too great. So what we're going to do before we commit to movement, I think the only realistic play Infinity has is a grenade. If I could get this guy flankable by removing all the cover, I can't reach the other one, so I don't really have a choice here. This is guaranteed damage, and it's going to remove all the cover. Okay, now what also might happen now is that Hellborn has a flank. But also now Hellborn's... we can't justice this guy. So because it's not a humanoid target. So now we've got a 66% flank shot. It's not incredible. Their aim is bad at this point in the game, so you need to factor that in too. Now, again, there's a nice full cover here position for Olduria with a flank shot. The only grenades I've got left now are on these two, so they are going to have to get into the mix. So I think we'll send Olduria down here, and we'll have a look at this flank shot and see what the... so it's only a 66, so you can see here that this is due to the aim and weapon range is causing a little bit of a problem. No, sorry, giving us a very small bonus, but it is quite far away, so we're kind of at the limit, really, of the range of the standard assault rifle. So we've got 266% flank shots, and then we've got shakes. Now, it's annoying. I think it's these trees that are preventing us from seeing this. Again, can't see it from there. Could see it from there. That's half cover. We don't like half cover, but I'm running out. I don't really have any other full cover options. The other thing we could do is another grenade, but I don't like that at all. If I could see any of them from here, I would drop shakes into this full cover, but I can't. So what we're going to do before we move him, we're going to take our 66% shots, right? And the sensible one to take first, because he's in full, is with Olduria, because if Olduria kills it, I might just be able to drop Hellborn into this full cover, or pull him back, or take a different kind of approach. So Olduria, Up to bat, 66% flank shot. Obviously misses. Okay. I'm very tempted. So I've got a 50% justice. Now the justice, because of it does 4 damage. It's a guaranteed kill. So this is where in your playthrough you're going to have to make a decision here. A 66% flank shot, which by the way will not kill this thing. It won't. Or a 53 that will. In XCOM, quite a lot of people here may be tempted to overwatch and let them move and see what happens. You can do that, but your overwatch shot isn't going to be better because it's a reaction shot than just sometimes just shooting. You just need to make that judgment call. But if you don't shoot, you can't hit it, right? So sometimes you're better off trying to actually hit it. So we're actually going to do something dumb here. This percentages obviously is to just hit that, but I'm going to go for the justice on this guy because if I do hit it, it's a kill. And we get it. So there you go. This is XCOM 101. You only miss the shots you don't take. So this is now looking much more positive now because that trooper is a problem. I'm really tempted actually to go for another flank shot with Shakes now, to be honest. I can't really get anywhere because this guy, we know he's going to mind control or he's going to res one of these corpses. So I'm going to do that. Can't see him from the top, so there's no value being up here anymore. So I'm just going to move into another half cover. Sectoids very rarely shoot. They will only shoot as their action if they have a flank. And none of our troops are flanked. So this is a 67. Now we're not going to use any more grenades, but this is a 40% chance to crit. So if it crits, could kill it. So let's try. And there you go. Now what's important with the decision making there is that most people I don't think would have taken that 50 on Hellborn. Now, it was a 50, right? So it's super easy that it just misses, right? And then Hellborn looks like an idiot, stood here in half cover, gets mind controlled. But that is XCOM. You're just playing the percentages. But sometimes, as I said, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to just make the right choice and take the right shot. So what we're going to do here, again, we have 2 turns to pick this up. Picking this stuff up. Picking these kind of drops up early game is super nice. So if you can get here, get it. But do not die for it. Do not just double run. I could just double run Shakes in here, pick this up, and then we pull a group and then he's dead. So don't die for it. But if you can get it like comfortably, then get it. But what we're going to do here, we're going to just take the 2 boys in half cover out to some full. I'm probably going to run an Overwatch turn here unless we pull something because I want to make sure that I've got everybody really well positioned. So Olduria, we're going to just take this cover here. And I'm probably, like I said, I'm going to smart Overwatch everybody again. I want to see if anything walks into me. If not, we'll then start progressing up the map for the next turn. So let's smart Overwatch everyone. Okay. So, the issue we've got now, we know the other group is going to be over here. Or potentially over here behind here. The other group came from here, so there is an opportunity they could be back here as well. Now I've got full cover here and here, so I've got actually going this way and here and here. So also there's another roof here which could be super beneficial. So I think there's a view here. As long as old Duria can get to that, he can. And then Shakes can get to that, then I can bring Infinity into here, and Hellborn may have his grapple back to get up here. So that I think is what we're going to do. Now I would recommend that you should always move move the person who's likely to pull them first, so you can then take action with everybody else. So if I bring Shakes to here and nothing happens, I feel reasonably comfortable now that all other moves are safe. However, I should have moved Shakes there, not there. Okay, minor misclick, so ignore what I just said. Always move the person that's furthest forward. I should have taken... Okay, so that does pull them, right? So I just moved Shakes to the wrong position there. That's on me. But the net outcome is the same, because I would have done that with him anyway. Okay, so final pod. So 2 troopers, and you're always going to get a captain in this pod. Now, most people, again, they're going to go, look at a HP bar, kill the captain. Again, these guys, all they do is shoot. So these guys need to die. This guy's going to mark us, and then, if he can, take a shot. So I've still got my grenades here on Olduria, and I've still got them on Shakes. Now, it's really important that you do juggle this, because these guys don't have grenades, so these two now need to lead the line, right? So now these two we've kind of leapfrogged the group, right? So Hellborn does have his grapple back up, but annoying, right? That's absolutely enormous. So grapple is a free action, so Hellborn could go up here and shoot twice. Now, that I think is, there's no reason not to do this. So we're going to grapple him up here because it's in cover. He's in half cover, but we get the elevation back. So we're going to have a nice bonus on our chance to hit here. So you can see we've already got 60s here. Height advantage gives us plus 20%. Low cover minus 20%. And weapon range. Now this is an SMG, so it's not got as good a range as the assault rifles, but not bad. But what we're going to try and do to improve this is remove the cover. So Infinity, I think... Again, there's like a real temptation here just to naturally go for the full cover. Now, I told you about full cover, so I'm ignoring my own advice. But again, I wouldn't move him yet. I would wait to see what the grenade does. I'd want to have a view of, can I actually see the flank from here? If I can, if you can see a flank shot from here, we take full cover. But maybe we wouldn't be able to. So just again, take the actions that you know you're going to take first. So we know Olduria is doing nothing else this turn but this. We damage one and remove the cover for the other. Now, that's actually a reasonable... What's annoying here is that I'd love to remove the cover for this guy and damage this one. But as you can see, it's not going to remove this cover, which is going to leave me no flank shots. Now, that we are just out. We're one tile out from being able to do this. So my preference probably is to remove the cover on the one further away, because this one's only in half. And if I leave this in full cover, it's a problem. So again, you've got a decision to make here. Do you hit this one? And you might not be thinking about this stuff, which is why we're going into it in like a millionth, you know, nth degree detail. Most people could just go, oh, I'll hit that to click. Well, no, take a second and think about what you're trying to do. This guy in half cover is easier to hit than this guy in full cover. So it's more in our interest to remove the full cover and leave this guy either in half or with no cover at all. So we're going to take this grenade here from Olduria. Olduria's in full cover. I feel pretty confident that he's in a good spot. Now, annoyingly, we didn't roll the 4 damage, which is frustrating. But we now have a flank on this guy at the back. So, Shakes has got a 66. Now, we do still have another grenade, which is annoying. Oh, no, we can hit him. Can we hit him? Now, no, we can't hit him. That's out of range. It's the orange tiles on the floor that you want to pay attention to. Again, a mistake I've made many times. You do that, you think, oh, well, he's in the radius. No, it's the tiles on the floor that he has to be in. So that's not going to hit. So there's no value in doing that unless we want to remove the cover. Now, I would recommend as well for Gatecrasher, use all your utility. There's no point sitting on grenades if you've got them. Just go for it. So we're going to head back up top to our boy Hellborn. So we've now got cooldown on Justice. Now, we've now got a shot on this guy, but we've got 2 shots because we grappled up here. So I'm really happy to take 2 78% shots from up here rather than risk a 66. One shot we could kill him if it rolls 4, but also because of the fact it's a flank shot, you got a 40% crit. So even a roll of 3, if it crits, will kill him. So we're going to take that first. Now it misses because it's XCOM. Because we have a skirmisher, we get a second bite of the cherry. So let's have another go. Right, now this is funny, right? Because this is the shit you're going to have to deal with. Now, based on what I said earlier about Infinity, he can see both from here, and he can see the flank shot. So we will take the full cover. 66 and 46. So we're going to go for the higher percentage shot here. There's no reason not to. So let's see if he can get it done. Nice. 1 down. Now, and a promotion secured. Now, we've still got our grenade, but we know we can't hit this guy. Now, 47. Again, you might be thinking here, well, Overwatch. Instantly Overwatch. Or you could double run to there. You could double run to there. Those are... Rather than Overwatching, I'd rather run there or run there than Overwatch, right? To be honest with you. Most people use Overwatch too much in this game, particularly when you're out of concealment. I'd rather be in control of my own destiny. So I'd rather be like, right, Shakes, run it to here. I know that I'm going to potentially have flank shots for next turn on these two. But actually, again, you might look at 47 and think that's a really shit percentage. And it is, don't get me wrong. But again, you only miss the shots you don't take. So we're gonna try, we're gonna swing on it. And we kill him. So this is what I mean. 47% target down. Now we only got the captain left. Now he will be shooting at us. But because we have elevation, we're kind of okay. Now the loot expired there. And as I said, if you can get it, then get it. If you can't, don't touch it with a barge pole. Okay? So now we've got to think about this guy. Now we have one grenade left, which is on Shakes. So I think there's a realistic view here that Shakes can go here, grenade him. Also as well, because of his position, you're going to look at Hellborn here for a flank. Yeah, Hellborn can get a flank from here. So I think if Shakes was to go here, grenade him for some guaranteed damage. Hellborn goes here, takes the flank shot. That's a reasonable first kind of attempt. So we're going to take Shakes here. As I said, grenades can do between 3 and 4. But it's guaranteed damage either way. So we'll take it. And again, it might also remove some cover. I wouldn't, again, think about what cover you want to destroy. Probably the big cover is what we want to touch this time. But again, if you can hit multiple pieces of cover, then go for it. But we'll just drop a grenade on his head. Okay, rolled the 3, not the 4. Not a problem. So, as I said, we know we've got Hellborn. Now we could also take the flank from up top. We can see him without moving, but it's not a flank. So then I've got a couple of different options here. I can move to here and get an elevation bonus, which is probably preferable to try and hit him if I'm honest. But we know we have an SMG with a range problem. So you're kind of here balancing the thought process of longer shot but elevated, closer shot but same level. So, as always, before we take action, let's go and try your worst options first, right? So Olduria here is going to have... Okay, now that probably changes my mind, because Olduria can get here on a flank himself and Hellborn could go here. So I can engineer 2 flanks. So again, if I'd have just moved without checking or thinking Hellborn to here, Olduria is kind of useless. Can't do the same thing. Now, Olduria could get a flank from here as well, but these are half cover, right? So half cover, we know, is not cover. So we know we can get him to full, so we do that. I'm now confident that's the next kind of course of action. And then what we can do is move Hellborn to here, and then we can take a look at the percentages of both shots. So Hellborn's going to have a 81, pretty good. Olduria's going to have a 70. Infinity, again, before we shoot, let's think. What can I realistically do with this soldier, who is in Narnia, by the way, miles away? Given that I've got 2 flank shots, I might do nothing. I think this is the most sensible thing to do. And worst case scenario, if both these miss, I've got an Overwatch with him. Or if I decide from a pressure perspective it's better to sprint up, I could go here or here. You know, I could move up. But again, we're not going to take it yet. 26 is awful. So let's let Hellborn have a crack at his 81. I think that makes the most sense. And we crit. Okay, so that is Gatecrasher done. Now we've just got to do the bits and pieces and we're good to go. So then you would just here, because there's no more enemies on the map, there's no reinforcements, no bullshit. You know, you can do what you like, but you can sprint towards this and put the C4 on. Now, I'm not going to do it because I'm going to actually take the time. I think we've got enough time to maybe run another one back. So let's go straight to the main menu and we're going to run another one straight away. Like I said, hopefully you got some tips from that. This is obviously about Gatecrasher, but there's just general kind of combat tactics tips in here too, in terms of order of doing things. As I said, thought process. So let's kick another one off. Let's get on Legend. Reduce beginner VO. Next. Start without Iron Man is fine. And go.
Accessing the feed now. We're in.
Again, we will skip all of our lovely cutscene. Okay. So I'm hoping we'll get a different map. Obviously a new car. Oh, we get a Reaper this time too. We can talk about Reaper tactics. Cool. So as you can see, different map. A really interesting map actually. Shakes is running it back, performed very well. And we've got Scruff and Lockett with us. Lockett, another absolute stalwart from the last campaign. Now, the benefits here are we have a Reaper. They have Shadow. They have a Claymore, which is a huge amount of damage. That's 5, so that will wipe a pod. Not like grenades, that will literally wipe a pod, no questions asked. It doesn't reveal the Reaper when it's triggered. And the detection radius on Reapers compared to concealment on normal soldiers is quite frankly insane. I would have no issues whatsoever just sprinting him up here. There's not going to be no enemies on this roof. Really, I think what we're going to want to do here, we've got this as well up here. The real simple, easy play for this group is to just hit all of this half cover on this wall here, and we'll see what we see. Now, I would always, certainly for the start, I would urge restraint. So just single move, just in case something happens. But realistically, we're going to be moving as far as we can with our Reaper on this first turn. Okay, that's 2 pods together. That's interesting. Doesn't happen very often. So this will be fun. But this also as well, from our Reaper, it screams Claymore. Okay, now what we're going to do here, now you can see here now that some of these tiles are highlighted. So if I sprint to here, I'm going to get revealed. So the as I said, the detection radius on your regular troops is much less than your Reaper. So I can comfortably also have a think about where you want to move. So Shakes is a bit further forward just from where they spawned in. So he's probably going to be able to get further, right? Which is true. So we could get Shakes to here. That's not going to trigger anything. We have concealment. We're not going to be shooting this turn. We know that, so that's absolutely fine. Scruff can get to here. And then Lockett, for now, can get to here. Again, you don't want to be stood there because it's not cover. So we'll just take the half cover here. Now, we need to see where these guys move. Because, as I said, you don't normally get a double pod off the rip. But it could also, as I said, it could also represent an opportunity. A screaming Claymore. Right, so this is, as I said, screaming Claymore. Now, the good thing with the Claymore is our Reaper, because of Shadow, won't get revealed when the rest of the squad does. Now, it's better for your Reaper to shoot the Claymore, generally speaking, but throwing the Claymore does use an action. So as you can see here, I cannot get the Claymore onto enough people. So we're going to have to move our Reaper up, probably to here, chuck the Claymore down, and then someone else can maneuver to shoot the Claymore. Now, had some fun in the last playthrough with Claymores being stuck in scenery and shit, and so what we're going to do, we'll be very mindful about where we place the Claymore, and then we will also be mindful about who can see it from up top, or we might have to move them down to do it as well. Now, Reaper is not going to be revealed by this, so I'm really comfortable with moving them down here. Now, what you need to think is, when they get hit by the Claymore, if I can get the Claymore on all of the Advent troopers, they're one shot. The sectoid, the only thing I'd be concerned about with here is that we get revealed by the sectoid if it runs this way, but it's not the end of the world because we have Shadow to get back into concealment. So we'll send our Reaper to here. So 2 pods at once can either be, as I said, if we didn't have a Reaper here, oh my god. Okay, if we didn't have a Reaper here, this would be problems, right? Because we would have been detected and all sorts. Now, if we get the Claymore, now I can't actually hit all 5 anyway. Now, because it's 5 damage, the real, we need to hit the troopers because it's guaranteed. You could do that as well, but you can't. I don't think I can look past literally killing 4 of the enemies on Gatecrasher. So we're going to toss the Claymore out. Now, our Reaper's not going to be able to shoot it, but somebody else can. Okay? So actually, we can see it from up here without really moving a great deal. But what I want to do is think about positioning. And I would love to have a couple of Overwatch shots as well, sort of left. So the best Overwatch shots are going to come from here. So if Shakes just bumps up a little bit to there, he's going to have a very good Overwatch shot. Scruff. Now, there's a question mark going here versus here. We know that the other group is here, so I'm actually kind of more of a fan of this position. You two are going to overwatch, and then I just need to make sure that Locket, I can move Locket up and can still see the Claymore. Okay, has a target preview on the Claymore. So Locket's going to shoot the Claymore. These two are going to overwatch. And what we're going to do is, yeah, exactly that. And we just pray that our Reaper doesn't get revealed, but we you know, we've had to take a reasonable risk to get in here. So Shakes, give me an overwatch. Scruff, give me an overwatch. And Locket, you are going to start the party here with a guaranteed 4 kill. So this is enormous in Gatecrasher terms because there's only going to be 4 enemies left and we haven't even broken concealment yet. So now loot destroyed. Obviously if you blow enemies up with explosives, you destroy loot, which is a problem. But again, it's not worth dying over. We haven't killed him. That is just annoying. Now, what I said about came true. So there's a bit of a chance my Reaper's in trouble. Now this is XCOM here because they're going to get a turn now. Oh my god. Marked and flanked. This is not good. In full cover though. Might be losing our Reaper here. This is like really interesting. Probably dead. Oh my god, should be dead. Literally should be dead. Now this guy probably will take the flank shot as well. Yeah. Oh no, it went for the mind control. And it resisted. Now this is XCOM, right? Now, oh god, she's panicked. Okay, she's panicked. Oh, panic, I'm going to shoot. I missed. Rip. Okay. We got extremely lucky there. Now, I did talk it through. I was concerned. I literally said the sectoid could run this way and reveal. Now, what's disappointing is the 2 Overwatch shots also rolled damage badly, so they didn't kill. If we'd have killed it here, it might not have revealed and we'd have got away with it. But again, these are the percentages you're playing when you play XCOM. So we've got extremely lucky there. Now, if I was doing a recorded campaign and I wanted to get a non-recorded campaign and I wanted a clean Gatecrasher, because my Reaper is wounded and is therefore going to miss the next 1 or 2 missions, I might re-roll this because it's damage on the Reaper. But we're going to play this out, obviously, because we're learning. Now, we know Mr. Sectoid went in here. Now, there's a bit of a cheat code because the sectoid will be where you cannot click, right? And I cannot click here. So I know the sectoid is stood there. So what we could do, one option is we bring somebody down to the flanking position, which is pretty good. We know he's already been hit twice. He's on like 1 HP. So I think that's the job. Now, everybody else has still got their grenades too. So we've got pretty good. Actually, I think Shakes and Scruff are in better positions ever so slightly. So I think I'm actually going to come down here. Now, interestingly, again, so Locket can't get here in a single run. Could get here and still have a flank, but I prefer double cover is the play. So I'm actually going to take one of, I think it was Shakes could make it. Yeah, so I'm going to bring Shakes in here. We'll go for the flank on this sectoid. Because it's so close and a flank, it should be a kill. Could grenade it to guarantee. But even if Shakes misses, I could get one of these two to grenade it. So I think, obviously, when you get to having your classes unlocked and you've got a ranger, this would be 100% with a shotgun from this close. It's not with an assault rifle, but I think having 2 grenades then from up top is better. So we'll take the flank. I genuinely hate this game. Why do I play this game? Okay, that's fun. Okay, so Wraith is obviously panicked. So this is so wasteful, by the way. I cannot tell you how wasteful this is. What we could do as well is we go, okay, GG. And we try again. And then lock it, grenades, these two. So you can hit one without moving. It's reasonable. Could also maybe... I don't think we can hit both. They're just stood a little bit too far apart. This sectoid has to die. Non-negotiable. It must die. But I think a grenade on him is probably going to end up taking out this pillar, which maybe, you know, kills Shakes a different way. So two ways to do it. Grenade it and guarantee it, or come down and take another shot. I'd probably grenade it for safety purposes. I'd maybe go here and try and maneuver a grenade. But do you know what? I'm going to go for the flank for science. Let's go for this. I mean, if you miss two 85% flank shots, then, you know, that's XCOM, isn't it? It's what happens. Right, okay, we do kill it. Okay, good. Now, the good thing is we have... Okay, panic removed because the sectoid died. Absolutely enormous. Now, we do have a flank shot here, but what I'd be looking for now is for Lockett to get a grenade in, and then maybe we can then take a shot against whichever enemy has no cover. So I'm going to take Lockett here. Still has a grenade. And can now hit both. So I've got a choice. Do we remove the full cover? It's not going to remove the cover. So the cover isn't actually flashing orange. I would be tempted to just get rid of... I'd be tempted to get rid of the one in full cover because this guy's in half. So he's going to have to move and shoot somewhere. This guy could just shoot from where he is. And if it does roll 4 damage, removing the enemy behind full cover is preference, probably. This guy's only in half, so... Okay, it rolled 3. Frustrating. Okay, so Wraith here, we've got some options. Because of our HP situation, reshadowing is a must. Now, the reason we can reshadow is because these guys don't have a flank on us. We're not stood in the open. As long as you're out of sight, you can shadow. So we're going to shadow. It doesn't cost an action. Okay, shadowing does not cost an action. So you still have full movement range. Now, what's real interesting is how aggressive do you want to get. Now, what you could do, a couple of different options with your Reaper here. Remember, when they shoot, there's only a chance to reveal. We don't have the ability yet where if it's a kill, we could, you know, that we wouldn't trigger anything. We could go here, take a flank shot on this guy, probably guaranteed kill them, and then hope we don't reveal. Would be a view. If we do reveal, this guy will flank us, so you need to factor that in. Or we've got a 69 from here without moving. We could also go here and get a bit of elevation, which might help us a tiny bit. If it was me and my playthrough, fuck it. For science, let's get aggressive. Let's see what we can do. Let's get aggressive. So we move in here. We're completely still concealed. We then get a flank shot, which is 97% 3 to 4, but a 40% chance to crit. We'll take it and hope we don't reveal.
We are known to them.
We did reveal. Okay, but we got the kill. So, you know, we rolled the dice there on a 50-50. So he's actually going to move back. Again, we had to not reveal for that to work. This guy should just flank us now. Yeah. So now our Reaper's dead. But you see the consequences of the decisions that you make. Okay, and you've lost your Reaper. Now, that is a reroll. 100. Getting the Reaper injured is a reroll. But, again, you've got to take risks in XCOM. You've got to. So, let's think about our next move. 2 enemies left on the board. This guy really should not be a problem. In fact, I've still got grenades. So, we could go for like a here to a flank, and that could kill it. But I think we just maneuver somebody for a grenade. Also, if we're here... only takes this guy to move to there and has a really easy flank on us. So Shakes has a grenade. So we could go here, which is full cover, and we just plop a grenade on his head. I think that's fair. So I probably would have done the slightly more conservative play there with the Reaper, which would be to just move like somewhere over here and take a shot without putting myself in real danger. Why can't we... This guy's stood in here, right? Like... Where's he gone? Why can't I see this guy anymore? Interesting. Annoyingly, Scruff can't get to there. Lockett can get one space away from... That'd be real nice, this cover position. He is here. I'm pretty sure he moved to there, behind there. So, right, let's just get rid of him with Shakes. We can't see him for some reason, but this will kill, so it's fine. Oh, he's there. Right, cool. Done. Promotion earned. Okay, so the captain is the mark was put on the Reaper, so there's no mark on anybody else. So I'd be really tempted here to go for a full cover move. Here we have no eyes on. We have our last frag grenade on Scruff, so he needs to be front and center. But realistically, as I've got no sight of the enemy, I'm probably going to roll an Overwatch here. And then with Lockett, I'd like to keep my high ground, but I might. This guy, we know he's on like this corner, right? So chances are he's going to move to here and take some shots. Anybody in half cover is going to be the priority shot. So there is a argument to coming down and getting into full cover somewhere. Isn't really any options to do that, or really go all in and just double run it up here. So as we're learning and we're testing, let's take a real aggressive move with Lockett up here. We're going to double run this to a really aggressive position, but much better for us for next turn if we get away with it. Just a case of if we get away with it or not. Okay, goes that way. That's fine. Okay, so we rolled the dice with that positioning. Then Scruff does get his shot and misses. I really thought he was going to go the other way, but he didn't. He's actually double runned up here. Now this is interesting because I've got 2 flank shots now. So can Lockett even see? I mean, Lockett. I mean, it has worked out. Lockett gets an 85% flank shot. I can also pretty sure I can maneuver 2 more. So Shakes can get here, which is a flank. Scruff can get here, which is not a flank, but he could go there. So this is the last enemy on the board, right? I do also have a grenade left, so I'm going to take the use of that. As I said, there's no point leaving utility on the field. So I'm going to take Shakes here because I'm going to take a flank shot from that position. That's 100% going to happen. But before we do, this guy's still getting a cover bonus. So if you look at Shakes' shot here, no, sorry, he's not getting a cover bonus because it's a flank, basically. But if I had somebody like, as I said, here, there'd still be this cover giving them a bonus. So Scruff realistically just needs to grenade this guy. So I'm going to probably just go here. Full cover in case things go wrong. Again, plan for the worst. And we'll just grenade this guy for the guaranteed damage. Because there's no point, as I said, leaving utility in your pocket. May as well use it. Now I've got 2 85% flank shots with Shakes and Lockett to get the business done. Now, because we took such an aggressive position here, which has paid off, let's give Lockett the opportunity to end this early. Great shot. Okay. Now again, depending on your perspective of success there, we've completed both Gatecrasher missions now, because again, we just marked the C4 and off we go. We took some, second time round, we took some deliberately risky plays, which could have come off. Like I said, if that Reaper doesn't reveal, we get a kill and we're unrevealed. So then we just win from then. There's nothing else that anything would be able to do. So hopefully you found me talking through this in even more detail than normal useful. Hopefully you've taken something from it. As I said, I'm not onward recording these kind of combat tutorials. So if there's anything you want or you would like in terms of, as I said, a mission type, using particular soldiers, another general combat tactics thing, mid-game, late game, early game, whatever, hit the comments, let me know what you'd like, and I'll do my best to make it for you. So thanks for watching this XCOM2 War of the Chosen combat tutorial. And yeah, hit the comments and I'll respond to whatever you want. So thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next one.